Brendan Rodgers last night insisted the rest of Scottish football being left in Celtic's slipstream because of their £30 million Champions League windfall isn't his problem. The Hoops all but banked the big bucks which will dwarf the rest of the domestic games budgets with their 50-win first-leg win over Astana. But after fielding a makeshift side with 4 teenagers yesterday and still seeing off Kilmarnock with a 20-win, the manager said, "I can't be looking in my slipstream wondering where everyone is. If I'm in a race, I'm never looking back, I'm only looking forwards." The other teams had the opportunity to play European football, it wasn't just us. So if they had progressed then that would have improved their pot of money. I tend not to worry so much, I tend to worry about Celtic. I want to represent Celtic the best I can, but I want Scotland to feel pride that they have a team in there competing and trying their best with football that is productive for Scotland. The reality is if we get £30 million or £40 million from Champions League, I won't be getting £30 million to spend on players or a player. What it does do is allow us as a club to keep making steps forward. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers with Kieran Tierney image SNS Group 1 don't think anyone's to blame for that. If we qualified, it means we've earned the right to be there. And it's a representation of Scotland, which is very important because we want to gain that respect. It's a relentless drive to be the best that you can be. It doesn't matter what other teams are doing. Meanwhile, Rodgers was thrilled with his second strings win over Killie at Rugby Park, and their 8th clean sheet in 9 games. He said there were so many positives from today. Firstly, the performance. It's always a difficult surface, but I thought the players coped with it very well. They showed a good level of technique and their composure was superb. Celtic's Calvin Miller goes close image PA, and I'm absolutely delighted with the integration of our young players, how they're playing, how they're working and how they're fitting into our ideas. If you look at the youth in our team today, we had 2 fullbacks with Anthony Ralston who is 18 and yet you'd think he's 28. His maturity and his performance, and how tactically aware he is great. We had young Calvin Miller too and I'm delighted for him. But all the players train hard and they understand the structure of the team. Then it's just replacing one player with one of a similar profile. That's what you look for whenever you're recruiting players. And how I work in particular, there needs to be a certain ability to run, be mobile and have technique. Celtic's James Forrest and Kilmarnock's Ian Wilson battle for the ball image PA. They need to be able to take on board information, so if there's a player who comes through into the system, they should have all of those attributes, so that when you take one out another one goes in, then it's just a clone really. With Dedrick Boyata and Eric Sviatchenko both still 3 weeks away from fitness, Rodgers did suffer one scare late on when stand-in stopper Nearbitten went down, but he revealed, "I think he's okay. He's won a great header, but just landed awkwardly and it looked like his Achilles at the bottom of his foot. He just felt it jarred a bit, but he has ice on it and he thinks it's fine." Rodgers wasn't so lucky, laughing, "Did anyone see me fall at half-time? I'll put a claim in, I think. You didn't see it good." 190,817 Ladbrokes Premiership, Kilmarnock v Celtic, Rugby Park, Kilmarnock. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers. Meanwhile, the Celtic manager was full of encouragement for his opposite number Lee McCulloch. Despite suffering his side's 3rd home defeat on the bounce to stay anchored at the bottom of the league, he insisted Lee McCulloch is an outstanding manager. "I know the season hasn't started that well for him in terms of results. He's played us twice now, unfortunately for him. But I was really impressed with him as an assistant to Lee Clark, and I've been even more impressed with since he became a manager. He's very forward-thinking, wants to do the right things, coach the right way, be organized, but I know how management works. Sometimes a couple of results go against you and in your first job you can find yourself under pressure. He has no need to worry. He's a fantastic manager starting out in the game, and I really believe this start will be good for him in the end."